Welcome to Family Basics 101. I'm Dr. Bruce McClure, and as we continue our 5-part series on parents, students, and school days, today we will talk about 5 things students and parents must know about school. Pre-K, kindergarten, elementary, junior high, and high school all have something in common. None of them are the parental nurturing ground for your children as that found in the home. Many times parents would like for their children to go off to pre-K, then on to kindergarten, elementary, junior high, high school. But regardless of the level of schooling, whether it's a public education setting, a parochial education setting, or even a church-sponsored educational setting, none of those educational settings are the same, nor will they be able to provide the level and the exact identical nurturing found within your home. Regardless of how hot the air temperature is outside, on a cloudless midsummer day, when a person first steps into a swimming pool, the body experiences somewhat of a shock, even when the water might only be 10 degrees cooler than, let's say, a 100-degree day outside with just a regular airflow. There's no difference with a child going into a K, pre-K, or any other school setting. With the slightest variation from what they have been accustomed to in the home, their system is going to experience a response to that change of atmosphere, to the change of nurturing, to the change of the environment, even in the school system. And both students and parents must be aware of this as the child engages in the educational process. Both parents and students oftentimes are, and rightly so, excited about school, meeting new friends, learning new things, even being away from each other, parents away from children. But there are some things students and parents must know about school. And the more aware the parent and the child becomes of these 5 things, the better that school exposure and that school experience will be for both parent as well as student. Number 1, the teachers may not share nor believe the values you are instilling in your children at home. And that's not really predicated upon the school setting. Whether it's a religious school, whether it's a home school, or maybe a school, a community-based school, not necessarily a home school, but a community-based school, where students are collectively sent into one learning environment, or whether it's a public school. Number 2, every student and every parent should know about schools that the teachers, the custodians, the librarians, the cooks, the volunteers, the administrators, the bus drivers do not have the time to spend one-on-one with your child that the home should provide. So when your child goes into a school environment, regardless of the school, you do not have a 1-to-1 student-teacher ratio. And every student should be aware of that, and every parent should be aware of that your child cannot get the same one-on-one nurturing, undivided attention that they receive in the home. Number 3, the school in most locations the school's primary task is not to be the initial nor the primary training ground for children, but rather they serve as the expansion of the playing field, the expansion of the exposure, the expansion of where the child now has an opportunity to practice and to be shapen and actually to develop more and more those basic foundational building blocks that have been taught in the home, be they values, spiritual matters, academic, social developments. All of these things are supposed to be foundationally constructed in the home and not in the school setting. Number 4, every student and every parent should know this about schools. The school's administrators, the school's faculty, and most staff will welcome parents who want to contribute to problem solving. The school staff, the school faculty, the school administrations will welcome parents who are concerned about enhancing the quality of life within the school environment. And in turn, the student of these type parents will actually receive preferential treatment in the school system. Number 5, every student and every parent should know this about the school. The school is not a Bible class. It's not children's church. It's not your church's youth group. And school is not the place of worship. While some of the parental values will be found within some school settings, from some teachers, from some administrators, from some supporting staff, do not dismiss every school setting because it does not remind you of the church that you attend. In the book of 1 Samuel chapter 2, verses 18 through 21, but Samuel ministered before the Lord being a child, girded with a linen ephod. Moreover, his mother made him a little coat, and brought it to him from year to year, when she came up with her husband to offer the yearly sacrifice. And Eli blessed Elkanah and his wife, and said, The Lord give thee seed of this woman for the loan which is lent to the Lord. And they went unto their own home. And the Lord visited Hannah, so that she conceived, and bare 3 sons and 2 daughters. And the child Samuel grew before the Lord. When you read this text of 1 Samuel chapter 2, one of the things that I have not mentioned is that the mother and the father were childless. And they prayed to God, and their commitment to God was, if you give us a child, we will give this child back to you. But before they gave the child back to God under the serviceship of Eli the prophet, Samuel received his foundational teachings first at home. And then when Samuel went into the care of Eli and those prophets, he already had the foundational building blocks. And what you'll notice also in the text of 1 Samuel 2, his parents still supported him and visited his school of learning. I'll see you back in class again next time. Don't be late, and don't skip class.